Hello, this is Community Conversations. I'm Doris Ballard, your host, and this is a production of Concord TV, and you can also listen to this program on our free podcast on iTunes. Today is very special because it's the kickoff of a small business program that Community Conversations is going to be launching on social media. And we are interviewing many of our entrepreneurs in Concord and in the region, and just getting a sense of how vital and how vibrant the small business community really is. And today I'm going to interview none other than Michael Herman, Gibson's Bookstore. Thank you for being my guest.
It's my pleasure.
Well, I just love Gibson's Bookstore on Main Street. It is beautiful. I could not help myself, came in to interview you, and I found a book immediately that I had to have.
We appreciate that. Thank you very much.
But I want to know a little bit about the Michael Herman that was before you came into Concord, New Hampshire, and started the very famous Gibson's Bookstore.
I didn't start it.
Well, you didn't start it. That's right. You didn't. You took it over.
I did.
And
Gibson's is actually the oldest continuous retailer in Concord. It was founded in 1898.
Oh, see, my bad. I should have known that.
Well,
but
people ask me if I was the one who started it, and
Well, we're going to clarify that now.
Not in 1898, anyway.
Okay. Let's go back to before you came to Concord. What were you were part of a family business?
That's right. Yeah, I was living in, I was in New York City, and I was in the textile business with, it was my family, but it went back 4 generations, and so I was one of the younger generation, the last one to turn out the lights, I guess, because the business was sold and it wasn't a family business anymore.
So you were part of a business, an entrepreneurial environment, so to speak, with your family, right?
Yes.
So you knew what the ins and outs were of.
Well, I mean, in any business, you want to have an entrepreneurial mindset, even if you're not really, even if the business is mature enough, as we were, that it's not really an entrepreneur anymore. But yeah, you always want to be looking for growth.
All right. What was that magic moment when you said, "I'm going to go move to Concord, New Hampshire, and buy a business"?
Funny story. I was sitting on my couch on the Upper West Side reading the New York Times, and there was just an ad in the classifieds. It was like 1 by 1 inch, and it said New England businesses for sale. Quite real stroke of luck there.
Really?
And it was an ad from a business broker in Vermont. And this same business broker actually brokered the deal where my predecessor, Jeff Haight, had bought Gibson's in the 70s. And I'm still in touch with him now. He's still a business broker. So if I ever sell, I'm going to call Phil Steckler first.
That's great.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah. Talk about family businesses.
Did you come and look at it before you purchased it, of course?
Yeah,
right.
The Gibson's was where Bread and Chocolate is now, in a 2,000 square foot spot, also on South Main Street, as you know. And I loved it. It seemed like it was sort of living the life. I always liked to read, and so it seemed like being in a business where you just really loved the product was the best idea ever.
So how long ago was that?
That was in 1994 that I started looking at Gibson's, and I bought it at the end of '94.
Did you get excited when you saw it? Did your wheels start turning as to how you could make it your own?
Well, until you own your own business, and even it's for some time afterwards, you don't really know what you're getting into. But it was a lot of fun just to contemplate, absolutely. And it was a pretty steep learning curve, especially at first. I spent a lot of long hours in Gibson's at night studying catalogs and trying to figure out the ins and outs of the business I'd got myself into.
Oh, that was a learning curve.
Yeah,
right?
It was, for sure.
So how many, you had 2,000 square feet at the time,
right?
And you said that it was really in the 1800s Gibson started?
1898, yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah, it was, I believe, started in the Eagle Square Hotel.
In that
story.
Space.
Yeah, and then it was, for a while there, it was in the Ames Shopping Plaza where the Rent-A-Center and Sal's Pizza are now.
Oh, that's
And that was under Bruce Luno, who was the owner before Jeff. So it goes back a long way.
Now, how are you feeling about the wonderful changes on Main Street?
Oh, it's great. It's great. So, when we moved into here in 2013, we set up a beautiful environment to sell books in, just large and spacious and welcoming and beautiful. all those things, and now the same thing's happening to Main Street.
So
we're
there's
very
a parallel.
We hope so.
Right, right.
We're very excited about the changes on Main Street, and the construction crew, Severino, could not be better. I mean, they've been such great ambassadors, and turned what could be serious impediments to doing business. It's been a very welcoming environment, and hats off to them.
That seems rare, but it's good to know that the city hired a consumer-friendly
We were very
business,
I
right?
think we were all the merchants were
Right.
very happy
Good.
when they realized that.
All right, let's talk now about the move to this amazing location. You're right. Steve Dupree
Yep.
is the contractor. The developer.
Right.
And you also have True Brew, which is
yeah.
right near you, and which I come to as well.
Yep.
And and you have things for kids.
Well, what we wanted to do when we moved into such a larger space, when we were contemplating that, because we went from 4,000 square feet where we were starting in 1998 to this is 12,500.
Wow.
And so we wanted to sort of invite other local businesses in to be our partners on this. We talked to Laura Miller at Imagination Village because her store and ours became a great fit. We bought Imagination Village and integrated all those toys and games into our children's book section. And then we talked to the folks at True Brew about setting up a homegrown cafe as a sublease here in the bookstore as well. So we took some of the best operations, that fit just perfectly into our business.
That's wonderful.
And brought them in.
Right.
Yeah.
In case you didn't notice, if you're watching on social media, we are in Gibson's bookstore, which is on Main Street. What's the address is?
45 South.
45 South Main Street.
Yeah.
If you've never been in here, we encourage you to come. It is a staple in the Concord community and the region.
Thank you.
It's beautiful.
Thank you.
And what a selection. I mean, how can you not find something special
Well,
here?
the great thing about an independent bookstore, no matter what the size or where they are, is every book in that store is bought with the local community in mind. We don't have buyers that are in Ann Arbor, Michigan, or New York City. Our buyers live here. They talk to people all the time, and every book that's brought in, it's been brought in probably with a specific customer in mind. Whether that customer discovers it or not,
Right.
that's
Right.
just the process.
So, and that's really interesting to me because we always think of Concord TV as a reflection of the community. In a sense, Gibson's Bookstore is a reflection of our region, the community, the region, and the stage. And
If we're
because you're
doing our
listening
jobs right,
you're
that's
listening
right.
to people.
We hope
Right,
so, yeah.
right. What have you learned over the years from the first day that you took over Gibson's Bookstore?
What have I learned?
That you could give advice to someone who's thinking about starting a new business.
I think in any business, it's I think always question your own assumptions and be honest with yourself about whatever prejudices and unrealistic hopes and dreams you might have. But also, by the same token, don't be shy about indulging your ambitions. Take leaps. So look before you leap, but also don't look before you leap, I guess.
So what's your vision moving forward now that you've been here a few years in this location?
Moving forward, I just think we want to give people more and more reasons to discover us, because the amazing thing is, even after a few years in a highly visible location, people are still discovering us. We want that process to continue and just to draw from as broad a community as we can, not just Concord, but from all over the state.
I have one final question, but first I want to know if you have anything you'd like to add before we end this interview.
Thank you for interviewing me. I want to get that in.
Here's my question.
Okay.
Will you ever write a book that you'll sell in Gibson's Bookstore?
If I write a book, it's going to be because I don't have to work so many hours. So I might have sold the store by that point, but that might be a few years down the pike. We'll see.
Well, whatever happens, you have developed the Gibson's Bookstore into a name that we are all proud of.
Thank you.
Oh, right. And thank you for agreeing to being part of our new venture here in letting the public learn all about our small businesses in the area. And this will be on Facebook, YouTube, and our iTunes. Our podcast on iTunes? Yeah, I got it. All right.
It's a podcast on iTunes.
It is a podcast
Yeah,
on iTunes.
I'm going to be looking for it.
All right, great. All right. Thank
Thank
you,
you.
Michael.
Thank you,
so
Doris.
much.
Thanks very
Thank
much.
you. And thank you for tuning in and listening to this interview with Michael Herman of Gibson's Bookstore on Community Conversations.